Hey guys, Caller here with set 3, the final set of Jaedong versus Free. It's on the map Athena II, and I think Athena II is one of those maps that are fairly balanced. Really, there's things that are good for both Zerg and Protoss. And by the way, someone was asking, what makes a map favored towards one race or another in all the race combinations possible? And in general, I just like to say a summary. This is, sort of a huge generalization, but Terran favors Protoss. The map is more favored to Terran in a TVP combination when there are more easy to hold natural expansions, when there are smaller passageways in the middle of the map, when there are more up and down open areas, when there are fewer map artifacts for air units to hide behind. And Protoss favors Zerg in the same situations, and Terran favors Zerg in the same situation. So basically, Terran favors Protoss with those attributes, and then Protoss favors Zerg. Basically, the harder it is for an early attack, the more it favors Terran in TVP, and the more it favors P in PVZ. And of course, in TVZ, the same factors apply. What makes a map more favored towards Zerg or Protoss? The opposite things. For example, having lots of artifacts on the map. By artifacts, I mean like ridges and areas like that. Helps you be able to use your air units, such as carriers or mulisks. Having a lot of open areas allows you to get excellent flanks, which are so important for example, Protoss versus Terran, or for Zerg versus Protoss, or of course Zerg versus Terran. Anyway, we're seeing here in I believe this was a 12 pool here, or actually an 11 pool from Jaedong, 11 pool plus gas from Jaedong, and meanwhile we're probably going to see the Forge Fast Expand for free. So those are just some generalizations about what makes a map favored. The ease of getting more gas, though, makes it more favored towards Zerg in Zerg versus Protoss. It makes it more favored towards Protoss in Protoss versus Zerg. I'm sorry, in Protoss versus Terran. So if that makes sense, basically, like, Terran is less Zerg is more expansionistic than Protoss, which Protoss is more expansionistic than Terran, and Terran is more defensive than Protoss, and Protoss is more defensive than Zerg. All right, now that I got all the races thoroughly confused, I'm gonna start talking about the Night Elves. No, just kidding. All right, so Forge and then Nexus, most likely for free, and the 12 pool into Fast Expand here for Jaedong. Jaedong, meanwhile, has researched, I believe he's researched speed upgrade, because he's pulled a couple of drones off of gas. I think he's got one drone on gas right now. So we could be seeing just a couple of lings to kill off that scouting probe, and it could be either, this could either go into a fast expand again, fast second expansion, or possibly into some kind of tech build if he really wants to surprise Free. Free now getting the obligatory 2 cannons up in the front. And Jaedong, I'm going to guess Jaedong is probably going to go for something more macro-oriented, probably going to get another expansion and then go for 4 hatcheries at least before getting any further tech. That seems to be the way he's going right now, at least, without mining in gas. And, 3 cannons actually up for Free. Free a little worried about a Zergling break again, because Jaedong once again has produced a large number of Zerglings. And that's going to slow Free down a little bit. That extra cannon certainly, it definitely has its costs, and that certainly makes these number of Zerglings worth it for Jaedong. Jaedong with 8 here, and now he is going to pick up that second expansion like I expected. Probably going to place down another hatch and then get his tech going. He could transition this into a 4 hatchery Hydralis bust, but I think based on his timing, he's probably just going to go for 3 hatch into Lair actually, and then go for a Lurker contain. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if my predictions... I've been into getting more predictions, by the way, recently. I don't know if you noticed my casts. I mean, they're not always right. Sometimes they're completely off. But usually I think I have a pretty good guess rate there, and I think it might, teach some people some things about the game, some noobs, some things about the game in terms of just what the predictions do, and also it's just fun to get predictions on tech, basically. Anyway, so we are seeing the fast lair here. We're not going to see a 4th hatch, actually, so it's going to be something like a 3 hatch into... Probably he's going to get a Spire just for killing the Corsairs, like we've been seeing all sorts of Korean programmers do now. But he's probably going to go into Lurkers pretty quickly, and there's no way Free's going to get that probe past those speed upgraded Zerglings there. He's still going to try, though, because that's obligatory also. If you can somehow trick those couple of lings into cannons, that's definitely worth it, of course, as a Protoss. And we're seeing the core up and probably the Stargate here from Free. He doesn't really have much of a choice. In the early game, the Protoss really doesn't have much of a choice. If he's boxed in like this by Zerglings, he has to get that Stargate in case there are mass Mutalisks coming. And now we're seeing the Spire go down here. Given the timing, I think what Zergs have been like doing when they go for a double expand like this is when the Spire is almost done, they put down 2 more hatcheries and their den. So they can get 5 hatcheries and Scourge, and then transition to Hydralisks. And here we're seeing, okay, so Lings trying to consider a run by or something. No, I think they were just sneaking over there. And we're seeing the Citadel and Stargate up for Free. Relatively early Citadel, he's going to pick up that Templar Archives and try to defend against any kind of ground push that could come out with Storms. There's a Spire. And whoa! Somehow a probe got through there. So this is could cost Jaedong pretty severely here. Now Free's going to know what tech is going on. That's not good. I guess Jaedong, when he rushed his Zerglings to the right, left a tiny opening that Free is now going to take advantage of. There's the Hydralisk Den. So probably going to get a couple more hatcheries and then go for the fast, well, not the fast, but I guess mass Hydras and a couple Lurkers thrown in. There's the 4th hatch, I believe, and this is really bad for Jaedong. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not like he got scouted with 1 hatch Lurkers bad, but it's not good either, because now Free knows exactly what's going on. Yeah, there comes the 5th hatch there at another expansion location at the 12. So this is definitely the macro Zerg orientation here. Not a bad build at all, though. So I mean, even though Free has scouted this, there's no hard counter to this. Basically, you know, there's no like I'm going to get lots of cannons if there was, say, a Mutalist build. This basically requires Free to be really on top of his game with his macro, and I think Jaedong is just superior to Free in the late game. I don't know if Free is going to be able to handle this without any kind of sort of quote-unquote special build like a Bisu build or a Corsair Reaver build. Leaning towards right now just Mass Templar and possibly DT Corsair, but I think it's probably just going to be sort of a standard mid-game build here into the late game, and I'm not sure if this is going to be enough to defeat Jaedong when he's gotten 4 bases up already, and Free's been forced to commit to a number of cannons actually that he didn't need to, given that if he knew this information he wouldn't have 4 cannons up there. That's going to cost him a little bit also. And Free is still stuck in his base with his Zealots. There's no way he's going to be able to come out. Jaedong, you know, covering every angle there. He's got Hydralisks, Sunkens, just a Hydras on the ramp to prevent any DTs sneak out there. And yeah, this is the macro Zerg that really is so hard to defeat for Protoss if they get boxed in like this. Whenever I play Protoss, this happens to me. I do have a a spoof account on Icy Cup that I play Protoss at, and I personally do think Protoss is much easier than Zerg, and I think it's demonstrated by the fact that I'm almost C- despite never playing Protoss ever. I just played Protoss for like, you know, 25 games, and but anyway, so that's not saying I'm a great player or anything. I personally think Protoss is easy, much easier than the other races at the really beginner amateur level. But anyway, so we're seeing a bunch of Sunkens up, a bunch of Lurkers out. It's sort of a defensive Zerg strategy here, actually, and the one weakness of this is, as we're seeing here, that Free's going to pick up his 3rd base relatively easily before Jaedong can really do too much about it. Although Jaedong could get a lot of Hydralisks and just try to take down this expansion. That's going to be really important for him to do, too. You know, Lurkers and Spore Colonies will defend so well that those expansions are going to be pretty much invulnerable for quite a while for Free. And Free hasn't gone for anything like the Bisu build, which is, you know, Corsair or DT with a bunch of other, you know, things. Bunch of prerequisites to really call it a Bisu build, but whatever. He's not going for it. He's not going for Corsair Reaver either. He's just going for the macro Protoss build here. And it's not a bad build if you can hold this 3rd gas here. It's going to be able to contend for a while against the Zerg here.